Hinduism rejects LGBTQIA+, and as a Sanatani, you should never follow this ideology. Hi, my name is Jayanth, author of 3 popular books, Dantasura, I Met Purusharama and Escaping the Unknown. Today, let's discuss why Hinduism rejects LGBTQIA+. Hinduism or Sanatana Dharma is one of the most liberal and inclusive philosophies. However, it also places a strong emphasis on Dharma, the natural order that ensures the betterment of society as a whole. Some modern concepts circulating today are confusing and in some cases misrepresenting the essence of Sanatana Dharma. To begin, the Vedas, the foundational text of Sanatana Dharma, recognizes 3 primary genders: Purusha-prakriti, that is male; Stri-prakriti, that is female; and Tritiya-prakriti, that is transgender. These categories encompass the natural diversity of existence as understood in the ancient Indian philosophy. However, the proliferation of what some call as rainbow genders today goes beyond this framework and is better understood as personal preferences rather than inheriting identities within the Sanatani worldview. Let me clarify, I am not opposing individuals who identify with these newer terms. Everyone has the freedom to live as they choose. However, it's important to understand that Sanatana Dharma does not recognize these additional genders and discourages any action that deviate from the natural order. Let's delve deep into the wisdom of Sanatana Dharma and what it truly teaches us. In Sanskrit, the term Prakriti translates to nature. It represents the inherent qualities, tendencies, and constitution of all beings. In the context of gender, Prakriti is more than just a label. It reflects one's natural essence and role within the cosmic order. Sanatana Dharma views gender as an integral part of the universal design rooted in Prakriti. Each Prakriti, that is male, female, and third gender, is a manifestation of nature's diversity and serves as a unique purpose in the grand scheme of creation. The exact meaning of Prakriti is existing in or caused by nature, not made or caused by humankind. It symbolizes the balance of opposite and components such as a dynamic interaction between Purusha, the conscious principle, and Prakriti, the material principle, that drives creation itself as per Vedic philosophy. By understanding Prakriti, one gains insights into the natural order and harmony that Sanatana Dharma strives to uphold. It emphasizes that while individuality is celebrated, living in alignment with nature's laws ensures societal and cosmic balance. The Puranas talks about genders primarily male and female, but they also recognize the third gender. A notable example is Ardhanarishwara, often seen as a representation of the third gender. However, the Puranas describe Ardhanarishwara as a union of Purusha and Prakriti, symbolizing the male and the female principles are inseparable. There are many other references as well, such as Shikandi, who is portrayed as a transgender. Shikandi transitioned from woman to a man. Similarly, Arjuna during Pandava's exile became Brihannala for 1 year. We can say all this has different genders or cross-dressers or queer. I can't even say it. But the fact remains that they do not represent any gender other than the 3 core genders recognized in Sanatana Dharma. The Garbhopanishads can be considered as one of the most insightful scriptures for understanding genders. This remarkable Upanishad is comparable to the modern day texts on child development, psychology, medical science, astrology, and practical advices. The Upanishad offers its perspective on factors influencing a child's gender, the cause of birth defects, and the birth of twins. It explains the dominance of male semen resulting in the birth of male child, whereas a female child is born when there is a predominance of female or mother's semen. When the semen of both male and female is equally stronger, the birth of transgender individual occurs. Coming to the Svetasvatara Upanishad, chapter 5, text 10 also talks about three genders. The word Napunsaka, which means third gender. Even you can find a reference in Srimad Bhagavatam. The word Nobhayam, which means neither male or female. Basically it says transgender. Even Garuda Purana 32:29, which says whatever the sexual orientation of the child, whether it will be a male, female or a transgender, it is born in the 9th or the 10th month. I can prove countless examples of reinforcing the fact that there are only three genders recognized in Sanatana Dharma. The Kama Sutra or the Khajuraho temples do feature depictions that interpret as a representation of LGBTQIA plus identities. However, these are better understood as explorations of human desires rather than affirmations of additional genders. To delve deep into this subject, let's take a step back and examine a few key concepts presented in the Kama Sutra. The 9th chapter of the second division deals with the oral sex between non-heterosexuals who are designed as the third order of humans, called as Tritiya-prakriti or third nature. These third nature person are two types. Those are of the female kind who dress like women and those of a male kind who dress like men. Dvivida Tritiya-prakritaha Stri-rupina Purusha-rupina cha. To go more deeply into this subject, it also says Tatsya Vandana Jagana Karma Taduparikshakam Acharikshate. Transgenders who behave like a woman is to be employed for oral sex. Vaishyavam Charitam Prakasayat. They were paid sex workers such as code agents. For those who behave like male should take up the profession of the masseuse by thus coming into contact with males, satisfying them through oral sex. Kama Sutra then goes on talks about different ways to please a man via oral sex. But Kama Sutra also gives a warning about these practices, saying that in Ayurveda there is a description of good qualities of dog meat, but saying does not mean that one should eat it. The Dharma Shastra also does not recommend many of these activities, in some cases also condemns the act. Sexual union between heterosexuals does not get any mention in Smriti Shastra as well. Manusmriti says if the man has sex with another man, then he should take shower with his clothes on. The statement implies that sex between two men is not considered as normal. Another verse from the same text says that if someone engages in crooked sex, one will fall down from one's jati. There are similar statements in Mahabharata that seem to disapprove sex between men. The words used is Vyoni Maithuna. Maithuna means sex and Vyoni means other than vagina. Thus it could refer to as anal sex. In the 11th chapter of Hari Bhakta Vilasa, Sanatana Goswami gives many details about the union between husband and wife. He also gives a list of constellations during which mating would produce Tritiya-prakriti. So some person are naturally born as Napunsaka. Sanatana Dharma is an open and inclusive tradition that emphasizes living in harmony with Dharma, the natural order and moral duty. The concept of multiple genders as promoted by modern groups stand in opposite to these natural orders. In some cases, it's explicitly restricted. Therefore, Hindus should remain conscious and not fall prey to such groups attempting to impose unnatural and adharmic gender norms. As Hindus, it is our responsibility to protect our children from these misleading ideologies and instead educate them about the true essence of Sanatana Dharma. Teach them the values and principles that uphold natural balance and support the path of Dharma. Swasti.